Hello, welcome to another Trinity Teachings. This is lesson 3.11, Lore Mastery. Gray in the spectrum that I spoke of in the spectrum video. Anywho, Lore Mastery. It's basically in its name, Master of Lore. Knowing a bunch of myth, legend, folklore, tales, and the old tales of Greek and Roman goddesses, Norse, basically myth and legend and all that from everywhere. And I don't mean just from other countries, like China, Japan, all that. Local American folklore. I mean, a lot of it does, there's a lot that does resonate from the U.S. Granted, some of them small things like Bloody Mary and some things like that, but I mean, they're worth knowing. I have actually several books and things right here of different folklores. One that actually would be great for, I do believe, I cannot remember if this is Greek or Roman, honestly. I do believe it is Greek, but maybe Roman because they were kind of close. The only difference really is the name of the gods. They're the same gods, really. They're just under different names. And one was like Zeus and that, and the other one, instead of Zeus, his name is Jupiter. So yeah, you know what the planet's named after now. Anyway, this one, the Edith Hamilton's Mythology, Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes, is actually one of the best for Greek or Roman. I think it's Roman. Roman tales that you can find. Actually, in most high schools that teach, I think it's a mythology class or whatever, actually use this exact book, because in fact that's why I got this. Long story exactly why I still have it, but anyway, I never actually took the class. In fact, if I would have, I probably would have passed it. But actually, no, this was a friend of mine who lost it, and I found it and kept it. Anyway, this book is a great one for learning a lot of stuff. Because there's actually a lot. There's some tales I do know, but it actually tells you more into them. A lot of people just give you like general once-overs of it. This is actually some in-depth things. I mean, it's a very long book. I mean, I don't know. I started reading it some time ago, and I don't know where the hell my place is anymore. I need to really finish and start over again. This is the little book. It's a little once-over of the Greek gods. Not all of them, but several of them. Some of the most important ones off a few tales thrown in. Here's an interesting book. The Illustrated Book of Myths, Tales and Legends of the World. It's actually got mythology and all that from all over the world, from Greek, from Norse, Irish, Indonesian, Mayan, Roman, Aztec, what else? West African, Native American, Celtic, so it's actually a very good took. However, as I said before, it does give you some once-overs of several of them, so just, as I was saying, like, not in depth, but it is a good book to have to learn about some things, and if you want in-depth things, you can always look into them later. So you can have always go and look up more. I mean, this will give you like in general look into it, and you can always look up more deep into it. Let's see, these are some of the best known, I guess, of each one. Favorite Norse Myths, retold by Mary Pope Osborne, illustrated by Troy Howell. A very good book favorite Norse Myths, good for learning some basic Norse myths. This one's Favorite Greek Myths, by, where is it? Same people. Mary Pope Osborne retold them, illustrated by Troy Howell. Forgot about that. Anyway, it's got several stories in it. I admit, not that many, but hey, I admit it is still a good story. Good some tales. Here's an interesting book, Bullfinch's Mythology, complete in one volume. Actually, a pretty old book. I actually got 2 copies. I didn't realize they were the same thing until later. Anyway, but it's got a lot of different mythologies and tales and stuff into it, so it's actually a good book to look into. And Funk and Wagnall's Standard Dictionary of Folklore, Mythology, and Legend. There are 2 volumes. Volume 1, A through I. Volume 2, J through Z. It's filled with different things. It's basically a dictionary, as it says, of different folklore, different things. It's actually a very interesting books. I mean, even if you just scroll through it, you'll find something interesting. In fact, I just love the covers. It's what originally attracted my attention before I realized what they were. It's just with the symbols on it, and it's just very interesting. In fact, most of my books I usually take the dust cover off just because they kind of annoy me. But when it comes to these, I actually like those dust covers, so I kept them. Also, when it comes to learning about mythology, folklore, and all that, mythical creatures, like in Beast Mastery, learning about mythical creatures is optional because, yeah. But in here, since they're part of a lot of lore and that, plus actually, surprisingly, there's actually a bit of mythical creatures lore out there that I didn't even know about. First, let me show you some. Oh. Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with these books, but the Ology series, which is these big books, which are kind of like pop-up books in a way, which teach about certain things. Some of the stuff in them isn't exactly real, but they do take some myth and legends into a fact. Like this one, it just says mythology, but it's mainly on just Roman and Greek and that. Then these about creatures. Let's see, the Fantasy Encyclopedia. It's got a lot of information about different creatures, such as, let's see, gorgons, dragons, phoenixes, the undead, certain spirits, undines, I think I said phoenix already, stereotypical witches, mummies, werewolves, vampires, you name it. See, this one, Encyclopedia on Fairies. Another one of those ones that talks about mythical creatures. Fairies, hobgoblins, brownies, lamayas, you name it. And, let's see, here we go. This book is Dragonology. It talks a bit about dragons, but this one talks a bit more about dragon lore. Granted, it's also another fictitious book, but surprisingly it actually has real different types of dragons from mythology in them. Interesting tale. I live in Pittsfield, Illinois, and not far from me is Alton, Illinois. Well, they have a legend down there, which is Native American, I do believe, which is called the Pisa bird. Well, little did I know, for a while I thought the Pisa bird was actually a type of chimera. Little did I know, actually, a Pisa bird is actually refers to the Pisa dragon, a type of dragon, which I did not know existed until I actually looked into this. So you can actually learn quite a bit about mythology. I mean, I thought it was a chimera, which it actually looks like one, honestly, but the picture that somebody painted on the wall. And this, well, this is just in here. It's Demon Hunter's Handbook by Abelard Van Helsing. Yes, I know this is a fictional book, but then again, I guess it talks about some mythical creatures, such as dragons, werewolves, and vampires as being demons. I don't know why a dragon is considered a demon. Granted, it did come in handy to piss off somebody later. But this goes under a different sect I will have to speak of later. And let's see, I think that's all I got when it comes to those. Anyway, but mythology, lore mastery is actually one of the ones I actually enjoy, because I actually wouldn't say I master a lore mastery, but I do know quite a bit of myth, legend, and folklore, and I love reading about it. It's something I've always loved. So, plus actually, it comes in very handy because you'll know more about the gods and goddesses, and in Wicca, you invoke a lot of these gods and goddesses every day. Knowing more about them and all this is actually a very useful tool, I have to admit. So, unlike some of the things, spectrum parts I don't know too much about, this one I do know quite a bit about. So anyway, That's most I got right now. So I implore you, I mean, look up legends and folklore. I mean, learn about your local ones around you. I mean, the Pie Salvador I only know about because my fiance is from down there. So that's how I know about it. And we go down there once in a while. So, I mean, look up, read about it. You never know what you come across. I mean, also, a part of it, which I'm say you could probably consider this a bit of lore mastery, but then again, more lore mastery is folklore lore, legend, not that. But, spiritual ghosts and all that, some of that could be part of local lore and that, so you can always investigate that. I will do a separate video later on spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. But until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you go out there and read more about mythology, folklore, legends, all that. And I hope you enjoyed my showing of books to you. So until next time, thank you for watching, and keep learning. Ta-ta!